Hello, this is Mensaflow with another quick tutorial about Mensaflow AI's solution. We always talk about chat boxes and workflows, and these are all good things for different parts of your potential use case. But there's other things you can do as well with the Mensaflow solution, and that's not necessarily chat box. For instance, you could have a web page that is built entirely by AI. It'll actually do the code on the fly based upon input, and we're going to show that here in a minute here. We can also have a Raspberry Pi tied to an SDK kit industrial controller, and then have that be run by AI. So there's lots of things you can do here. So you can connect to our APIs. We have a section on APIs, but we want to kind of show this as an example here. So here's a little test page. It's an HTML test page. I'll show you the code later. But let's put in a city and a country. And here we can do different models here. We're going to just use Grok. We'll use the inexpensive Grok 2 here for the moment. And we're going to say submit, and it'll go off, and it's actually going to be, and I put the code here, that's actually building the dynamic HTML code, and of course I show it up here, and these are the airports locally. You can further go on, let's go to John F. K. and say find the airlines for this particular one, and it'll go out and find the airlines. Let's see how good it does. And it does, it finds all the airlines that are associated with it. So that's that, and plus we can then go to the Olama. Now you're going to see this, you can begin to test different models here. So we're going to do Olama, those are the locally hosted ones, and we'll do one DeepSeek. We'll try DeepSeek. It's a 14 LLM model, and let's try Paris, France, for instance. Submit it. Now you'll see it's taking a little bit longer. Yes, and that took a significantly longer time to come back with a query, but it did come back, and it is correct. You can see here it's basically correct there. Let's just check out Charles de Gaulle there and find the airlines associated with that. And of course, you'll find the different speeds, different quality of output. And of course, we've talked about that in the choice of LLMs. Let's see the airlines that we can find here. And it came back with a list a little bit shorter there. So obviously this LLM is not as strong as the Grok 2, and that was Grok 2, not Grok 3. But the point is, maybe the server could be a little bit stronger there to help that out. So you have to make sure you size it for the right application here. Point is that yes, you can build. So you can build this. Basically, you can build a website on the fly using prompts from the LLM and the AI server of Mensaflow. And of course, you might want to build forms like based upon the input of a previous field. You want to build a form or a control element of the form to something different, like what we did here. So we basically started out with nothing. We put on our airport, and it built the HTML code, and then we did the query, and it went on forward there. So you can see that. And again, it's not just web pages. You can do other industrial controllers or anything like that. So that's kind of an interesting to point out. Let's take a look at the code, and it's very simple. Again, you can go to the frequently asked questions, and you can see this code yourself. Here's basically the setup of the configuration. Here's the endpoint to coming to the Mensaflow server. We've hidden these API embed codes, and it's the workflow workspace, the provider that was from the select statement, and we put a similarity code in there to keep it tight. And here's just a construction call for the API service. It's a simple fetch with all the different elements in there, and then we build a prompt on the user input. And you can see that we actually put the prompt in here. We put the user input, and it throws it, and then it puts it back up on the screen here. It goes through the code. So you can see there that it's quite an interesting way of coding. You can actually build those websites on the fly, or actual widgets, or whatever you're planning to do. Point here is it's not just about chat box. AI can do a lot more than just chat boxes, and it can do a lot more things that you should consider into your applications to improve your business efforts. Again, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to like the video on the way out.